Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Join us as we dive into the world of Disastrous Necromancer, where we'll unravel the mysteries of Lin Moyu's quest to become the strongest. From hidden secrets to epic battles, we're here to give you an exclusive look at the story before anyone else. If you're a fan of fantasy, necromancers, or just love a good adventure, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support the channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chapter. Let's start the journey.
The Abyssal Demon Sovereign's words were predictable to the Heavenly Sovereign. A trace of disdain flashed in his eyes. Are they trying to unite for a second time to destroy the human race? These pests hiding in the shadows can only do such things. From the bottom of his heart, the Heavenly Sovereign looked down on the Abyssal Demon Sovereign. The Heavenly Sovereign comprehended the Golden Law, also known as the Heavenly Sovereign, which corresponded to the majestic power of the Golden Law. The law was elevated, and the rules were like the blazing sun, grand and magnificent. What he disliked the most were creatures like the Abyssal Demon Sovereign, who lived in dark corners and only engaged in schemes and plots. The Symbol Saint corrected the Heavenly Sovereign. If you count it, this is the third time. The Heavenly Sovereign nodded. If you count it that way, it is indeed the third time. Speaking of which, those guys, every single one of them, has enmity with the human race. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. Finally, we have a reason to act. For those races that did not participate in the coalition 10,000 years ago, the human race needed a reasonable excuse to act against them. Of course, they could act without an excuse, but some people might not be able to get over it psychologically. Now they finally had a reason. In ancient times, these guys were all traitors to the Great World. If it weren't for them, the Great World wouldn't have ended up like this. Perhaps the Heavenly Sovereigns of that time had already counterattacked into the Black Blood Great World and plundered its source. If that were the case, what would the Great World look like now? The Heavenly Sovereign's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Since we have a reason, let them be. We will proceed according to the plan. This time they didn't suspect anything, which is the best. We will continue to do so. The three races were exterminated, and countless star fragments floated in the starry sky. It looked like the end of the world, with the star system destroyed and no survivors. But in reality, most of the stars in the three races were intact and had been secretly transported back by the human race's strongmen. The human race had long been prepared, deploying formations to shrink the stars. At the same time, the human race scattered countless fragments across the starry sky, making it look like the star system was destroyed. To make it more realistic, the human race's saints and other Shore Realm experts deliberately left many traces and residual powerful auras, exposing themselves. So far, this plan had been very successful. Exterminating the races was just one part. The real purpose was resources. The Heavenly Sovereign looked towards the void. Human Emperor, you can start on your side as well. A few seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor network came. I am already preparing, but it will take time. The Heavenly Sovereign nodded. No rush, we also need time, including those guys. Don't push them too hard. After exterminating the three races with thunderous momentum, the human race fell silent again. In the following days, the Great World seemed to return to its former calm. The human race made no further moves, showing no intention of continuing their revenge. As a result, the various races that had planned to form alliances began to hesitate again. The entire Great World seemed to enter a peculiar state, with a strange atmosphere. In Lin Moyu's cultivation room, there were faint sounds, and a peculiar and strange aura spread throughout the room. A rune was constantly flying in the cultivation room, appearing in various corners as if teleporting, moving incredibly fast. If someone were there, they would be amazed at the speed. Although there was only one rune, it looked like there were countless runes. Lin Moyu controlled the rune as if appreciating a work of art. As the master of the rune, he knew that the reason it appeared this way was because the rune disrupted time. The space-time where the rune was located was chaotic, making the rune appear extremely fast, far beyond normal. Lin Moyu reached out, and the rune flew back, landing in his hand. The rune spun on his fingertip, a three-dimensional rune, extremely profound and mesmerizing. Time runes and space runes were both three-dimensional runes, much more complex than ordinary high-level runes. Similarly, fusing the two runes together became more complex. Rune fusion required the vibration frequencies to be consistent for perfect fusion. Even for three-dimensional runes, this was theoretically the same. The difference was that their vibration frequencies were divided into multiple levels. Each area had its own vibration frequency. It was as if the rune was composed of dozens of completely different runes. This change made it difficult for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu tried various methods to adjust the rune's vibration frequency, but every time he adjusted one area, another area's vibration frequency would change slightly. No matter how he adjusted, the entire rune remained in a state of chaotic vibration, making fusion impossible. Lin Moyu tried countless times, all ending in failure. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had enough patience. With his talent for runes and the blessing of the explosive luck technique, he sought the root of the problem. He believed that what others could do, he could also do. After numerous attempts, he discovered that the real problem lay in the drawing process. There were already issues when drawing these two types of runes. This led to seemingly complete runes having internal differences. He then relearned how to draw runes, stroke by stroke, like a beginner. Lin Moyu first learned the space rune called the locking space rune. Its function was to seal space, a common method used in battles among various races. Lin Moyu had encountered the locking space array many times before, which had a similar function. Using runes to represent it was closer to the essence of the world. While drawing, he paid attention to the rune's vibration frequency. He did his best to keep the rune's vibration frequency consistent. This was difficult, but Lin Moyu was persistent. He lost count of how many times he drew the rune in a year. He only knew he kept drawing, never stopping. Drawing time and space runes consumed a lot of soul power. An ordinary second-level god sovereign could only draw 10 times before exhausting their soul power. But Lin Moyu, with the world tree's continuous replenishment, could draw without stopping. After thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands of attempts, Lin Moyu finally grasped the key. The saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign provided the inheritance, but the details needed Lin Moyu to comprehend on his own. After nearly a year, he finally understood. He knew the weight of each stroke and the amount of soul power consumed. Too much or too little wouldn't work. Finally, he drew a nearly perfect three-dimensional rune, the locking space rune. The perfect locking space rune looked similar to the previous ones, but each stroke combined to give a sense of natural harmony. From the soul level, the entire locking space rune's vibration frequency was completely consistent, with no differences in any area. The effect was not yet as good as the locking space array, but the significance was different. Lin Moyu knew he had laid a solid foundation. Once he mastered the locking space rune, he quickly mastered the remaining runes. Time runes were more difficult, but they didn't stop him. In just a month, he perfectly drew the time runes. The remaining rune fusion naturally followed. Lin Moyu chose to fuse the time retention rune and the space leap rune. The time retention rune could slow down time. The space leap rune could traverse space, achieving a teleportation effect. The two runes fused perfectly, forming a perfect fusion rune. The perfect fusion of the light preservation rune and the space leap rune has created a new rune that possesses both time and space attributes. According to Lin Moyu's tests, this rune can slow down the time flow around him by approximately 3 times. This effect is even stronger than when he uses the time laws himself. Additionally, it can enhance his ability to traverse space, also by about 3 times. In other words, under the influence of this rune, he can take 3 steps in 1 second, with each step covering 90 million kilometers. This results in a speed of 270 million kilometers per second. This is just the beginning, and Lin Moyu knows the rune can become even stronger. Unfortunately, the duration of the rune is too short. It can only last for 10 minutes when used directly. However, for the user, these 10 minutes feel like 30 minutes. 3 times the time, let's call it the 3-light rune, Lin Moyu thought, giving a name to his fused rune. The name was chosen casually and isn't particularly pleasant, but it doesn't matter. The 3-light rune is just the start. In the future, there will be 6 light runes, 9 light runes, and even 100 light runes and 10,000 light runes. However, for Lin Moyu, the most important aspect of the 3-light rune is not its use but its reference. Section 2294-2369. Lin Moyu intends to use the 3-light rune to fuse his time laws and space laws. Whether it's the path of laws or the path of runes, Lin Moyu doesn't want to let go of either. He wants to walk multiple paths simultaneously and carve out his own unique path. This path is destined to be difficult, but he is determined to walk it. When he made this decision, he thought of what Antares had once said. To walk the strongest path, although difficult, if you succeed, you will reign supreme. In the small world, he achieved this. Using his talent, he transformed all his skills into spell planets, which then evolved into spell stars. In the larger world, he believes he can achieve the same. Antares, when will you come out? Lin Moyu's mind conjured the image of Antares, his close friend who has been waiting for a long time. 2 rivers of laws appeared simultaneously, the time laws and the space laws, radiating infinite power in the training room. The formation in the training room continued to operate, maintaining stability. Using the 3-light rune as a reference, Lin Moyu began to fuse the two laws. The explosive luck technique was activated again, aiding Lin Moyu. His soul power continuously guided the laws. The roaring sound echoed through the training room, causing the entire room to tremble incessantly. The two laws kept fusing and failing, releasing terrifying energy. Fortunately, the training room in the Divine City was extremely sturdy, and the formations inside were strong enough. In another place, any random explosion could destroy a star and obliterate a small world. As time passed, the roaring sound of the law collisions grew louder, and the vibrations became more intense. The training room could no longer absorb all the energy, and the training began to spread outward. The extremely sturdy training room began to show cracks. Above the Divine City, a burst of light surged, and the Human Emperor Network directly intervened in reality, gathering countless rays of light. The light enveloped the training room, stabilizing it. The anomaly in the training room attracted the attention of many nearby people. There were many divine beings in the Divine City, and they gathered out of curiosity. However, they couldn't get close, as the power of the Human Emperor Network isolated the training room from the outside world. Before long, the sky was filled with people, at least 100 divine beings. The weakest among them were high-level divine beings. What kind of law is this? I don't know, but I seem to sense the aura of space. These laws are very peculiar, they don't seem to be a single law. It should be a fusion of laws. Fusing laws is not easy. From what I can see, these two laws are very strong, making the fusion even more difficult. Yes, in my opinion, these two laws are at least second-tier laws, making fusion very challenging. Due to the influence of the Human Emperor Network, the divine beings sensed the aura incorrectly. Otherwise, someone would have recognized that these were the time laws and space laws. A golden light flew from afar, crossing thousands of miles in an instant. The figure of the heavenly saint appeared in the golden light, and the divine beings immediately greeted him respectfully. Heavenly Saint, do you know what laws are being fused inside? The laws seem too powerful, even the training room is about to collapse. We are curious. The Heavenly Saint glanced around indifferently, a golden light flashing. Everyone, please leave. He didn't explain but directly asked the divine beings to leave. These divine beings were all old and wise. Hearing this, they knew that the matter inside was significant. Knowing what not to know, these old beings immediately retreated, leaving faster than they came. In the blink of an eye, the surroundings were empty. The Heavenly Saint spoke to the void. Human Emperor, how is it? The Human Emperor Network replied, Lin Moyu is fusing the time and space laws. The collision of the two laws has released very strong power, and the training room can't withstand it. The Heavenly Saint asked, is there a way to strengthen it? The Human Emperor Network didn't answer immediately, seemingly pondering. The training room in the Divine City was already very strong, capable of withstanding the training of peak divine beings without any issues. If even this place couldn't hold, the only option was to train in the starry sky. For example, in the places where the transcendent realm beings resided. Those places were also good training grounds and safe enough. After a moment, the Human Emperor Network said, unless a new training room is built, this one can't hold. Once I withdraw my power, it will collapse immediately. Even the Human Emperor Network had no solution, and the Heavenly Saint was also helpless. The Heavenly Saint thought for a moment, notify Lin Moyu to stop and change the location. The Human Emperor Network couldn't waste its power interfering with reality indefinitely. It wasn't worth it. It was better to change the location. A few seconds later, the roaring sound grew even stronger, showing no signs of stopping. The Human Emperor Network said, no, he has entered a state of forgetting himself and the world, and I can't reach him. The Heavenly Saint said, withdraw your power, I'll seal it. Okay. The Human Emperor Network decisively withdrew its power without any hesitation. Countless cracks appeared on the training room instantly. The Heavenly Saint acted quickly, enveloping the training room with a golden rule power like a blazing sun. At the moment of power exchange, the training room collapsed. The immense power broke through the formation of the training room, spreading outward. The golden blazing sun twisted and deformed but ultimately held it back. The Heavenly Saint's mouth twitched. This power has already surpassed the divine level. The power of fusing time and space laws is so strong. The Heavenly Saint suddenly recalled the power of time and space he had seen before. Outside the small world where Lin Moyu was born, those divine beings were silently killed. The power of time and space was terrifying, and he felt a bit frightened at that time. Thinking about it now, seeing the power Lin Moyu displayed, he didn't find it surprising anymore. The training room exploded, but fortunately, it didn't affect other places. Lin Moyu's eyes were closed, and two rivers of laws floated above his head, constantly colliding. The Heavenly Saint's mouth twitched again. This guy is actually forcing it. The two rule star rivers kept colliding, and each collision would unleash an astonishing power. The Celestial Venerable finally understood why even the cultivation room in the Divine City couldn't withstand it. It was the collision of rule star rivers. How could it possibly hold up? This is too reckless, the Celestial Venerable said with some shock and confusion. He naturally knew about rule fusion, which was very difficult, especially the fusion of time rules and space rules, which was extremely challenging. But rule fusion also required technique. How could Lin Moyu be so forceful? Based on his understanding of Lin Moyu, he wasn't this kind of person, which made him feel puzzled. Gradually, he discovered some clues. The seemingly barbaric and unreasonable collisions actually had technique behind them. The two rule star rivers collided at a fixed point each time. What really collided wasn't the main body of the rule star rivers, but a tiny tributary belonging to Lin Moyu. The rule star rivers formed naturally, and Lin Moyu couldn't control them, but he could control his own tributary to some extent. This was how Lin Moyu, through repeated collisions, attempted to fully master the part that belonged to him. Lin Moyu had long entered a state of forgetting both self and object, completely unaware of what was happening in the outside world. He treated the rules as runes, and moreover, as runes that would never be damaged or collapse. In the constant collisions, he sensed the differences and similarities between the two types of rules, searching for the point of fusion. And in the continuous collisions, Lin Moyu's understanding and mastery of both types of rules were improving. Lin Moyu hoped that the two types of rules could progress side by side, and now, he had realized his idea in this peculiar way. The Celestial Venerable's golden sun appeared distorted again, as the power released from each collision constantly eroded the golden sun. The Celestial Venerable had no choice but to increase the power of the rules to maintain the stability of the golden sun. Otherwise, the explosive force alone would be enough to level the surrounding area. This guy, how long is he going to keep this up? The Celestial Venerable thought to himself. There was no other way, he could only stay here until Lin Moyu finished. For a moment, the Celestial Venerable felt like he had become a tool for Lin Moyu's cultivation. 2 days later, the Celestial Venerable suddenly sensed some changes. The explosive force seemed to have weakened somewhat. In 2 days, the rule star rivers had collided thousands of times, and finally, there were some changes. The impact of the explosions had weakened, but a more terrifying power was born. A strange aura appeared in the golden sun, a tiny air current generated during the collisions. Where the air current passed, the Celestial Venerable felt his rule power suddenly lose connection. Every bit of rule power contained his will, which he could control at will, as easily as moving his arms. But now, his power suddenly disappeared, and only part of it disappeared, which felt very strange. What surprised him most was that the disappeared part of the power recovered in the blink of an eye. It was as if that moment of disappearance was just an illusion. The Celestial Venerable was shocked. He succeeded. He realized that this disappearance was just like when those divine venerables outside the small world were cut down. His rule power didn't disappear, but was taken into another time and space. If you consider the entire golden sun as a whole, a small part of it, its time suddenly changed, becoming a few seconds slower or faster than other parts. The part that changed would separate from the whole, temporarily disappearing. When the influence disappeared, the missing part would reappear, returning to its original state. With his knowledge, although the Celestial Venerable didn't understand what time rules and space rules were, he could roughly analyze from this. Lin Moyu had indeed succeeded, at least partially. Lin Moyu had fused part of the space rules and time rules, producing a new power, which Lin Moyu called space-time power. The part of the golden sun that disappeared was affected by the space-time power, temporarily leaving the real time and space. Just like those divine venerables killed outside the small world, their souls and bodies entered different time and space, their bodies shattered, and their souls couldn't sense anything at all. Finally, when the two time and spaces recovered, they would suffer all the damage, which would be the end of their lives. Lin Moyu naturally couldn't achieve that level, but he had made a breakthrough. As long as his time rules and space rules continued to strengthen, he could eventually achieve killing without form. The rumbling sound disappeared, and the rule star rivers stopped colliding, returning to calm. Lin Moyu returned from the state of forgetting both self and object, with a hint of satisfaction in his expression. The fusion of the two rules, he had finally taken the most important step. Sensing the familiar golden rule, glancing around, Lin Moyu already knew what had happened. He bowed respectfully to the Celestial Venerable. "Thank you, Celestial Venerable, for your protection." The Celestial Venerable withdrew his power and laughed heartily. Not bad, really not bad. Lin Moyu said, I've caused damage to the Divine City, I'll find a way to compensate. The Celestial Venerable smiled, no need to compensate. Let alone just one cultivation room, even 100 or 1,000 wouldn't matter. As long as you don't blow up the Divine City, you can do as you please. It was rare for the human race to have such a genius. What did a mere cultivation room matter? Now Lin Moyu and his sister were the greatest hope of the human race. The Celestial Venerable also hoped that these two siblings could break through to become Divine Venerables, rebuild the Divine Path, and allow them to advance further. Compared to these, mere losses indeed didn't matter. The Celestial Venerable led Lin Moyu away. This ruins would naturally be dealt with by others. Returning to the central Divine Hall, the Celestial Venerable asked, if young friend Lin wants to continue closed cultivation, I've found another place for you. Obviously, ordinary cultivation rooms were no longer suitable for Lin Moyu. If even the Divine City's cultivation rooms weren't enough, other places' cultivation rooms would be even less so. The Celestial Venerable had experienced Lin Moyu's power. The collision of rules could unleash destructive power surpassing peak Divine Venerables. Unless a cultivation room was built with materials from the Other Shore realm, it simply couldn't withstand it. But materials from the Other Shore realm weren't easy to find. The human race didn't have much to begin with, and most were used for Wu Jian. Using them to build a cultivation room seemed too extravagant. However, if Lin Moyu really had such a need, it could be considered. Lin Moyu shook his head slightly. This closed cultivation lasted for several years. I've mastered some new things and also gained some information from the Holy Rune Venerable's legacy. I need to go to several places to retrieve some things. In the Holy Rune Venerable's legacy, there wasn't just methods for learning runes, but also things that the Holy Rune Venerable had left in the Great World. It wasn't enough to just be able to draw runes. If you wanted to use them in battle, you needed special methods to preserve them. Otherwise, if you had to draw them every time you needed them, how could your opponent give you such opportunities? So rune masters created rune devices, which were rune artifacts. Rune artifacts were used to store runes, ready to be used when needed. Rune artifacts could also be transformed into various weapons, battle puppets, or even have runes refined into the body, using oneself as a rune artifact. Rune artifacts were the techniques of rune masters, serving a similar purpose to artifacts created through refining. Ancient rune warriors were the strongest rune artifacts created by the Holy Rune Venerable. The Human Emperor Network granted Lin Moyu high-level permissions, allowing him to move freely throughout the entire human star domain. On the surface, he was just a mid-level personnel, but he could go anywhere. In the history of the human race, fewer than 10 people have had such privileges. Even the saints of the human race had to gradually increase their level permissions when they were young. Several saints had discussed giving Lin Moyu absolute freedom. Therefore, in terms of cultivation, they rarely gave him any advice, letting him develop freely. They would only intervene when Lin Moyu needed help. However, such instances were becoming increasingly rare. Lin Moyu left in his warship, which was special not only because of him but also because of the warship itself. Apart from the private warships of the saints and those at the Other Shore, Lin Moyu's warship was one of the few that had been modified to have deep space navigation capabilities. With this warship, even if Lin Moyu accidentally drifted outside the domain again, as long as it wasn't too far and he didn't lose his way, he could return to the domain. While navigating in deep space, Lin Moyu could clearly feel the spatial power emanating from the core of the warship. If I use the space laws to drive the warship, it should be able to go even faster. However, the warship is ultimately just an inanimate object. If I could truly master the space laws, I wouldn't need the warship for transportation. Like Luo Shen, opening a space gate and instantly traveling millions of light years. No deep space navigation can compare to that. Unfortunately, reaching that level is still too far away for me. But in the future, it won't be a problem. My goal is not just Luo Shen. Lin Moyu never aimed too high nor underestimated himself. His goal was not Luo Shen, nor the Supreme, nor even the Heavenly Sovereign. He wanted to walk the strongest path, all the way to the end. After flying for several hours, the warship emerged in the starry sky. Lin Moyu identified the direction, put away the warship, and took a step forward. The time laws enveloped his body, and the space laws flowed beneath his feet. Section 2296-2369. The two laws fused in a special state. Lin Moyu's time flow slowed down by 2 times, making 1 second in the real world equivalent to 2 seconds for him. The fusion of the laws also amplified the space laws. Each step now covered twice the previous distance, reaching 60 million kilometers. In other words, Lin Moyu could now travel 120 million kilometers per second, far surpassing the speed of a god. Although it was not as good as the 3-light rune, it had the advantage of not needing to draw runes, making it extremely convenient. Lin Moyu kept flashing through the starry sky, crossing vast expanses of space. He was now in the Divine City star domain, in the mid-level area, and his target was the star system numbered mid-26999. There was a secret realm there, known as the Treasure Ship Secret Realm. It was said that there was a treasure ship in the secret realm, filled with countless treasures, but no one had ever been able to enter the ship and obtain the treasures inside. Lin Moyu, through the inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, compared it with what he had seen in ancient times. He knew the true nature of this treasure ship. The ancient rune warriors were rune treasures created by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, using all his life's learning and power. These were puppet-like rune treasures, and the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign made 3 of them, each taking thousands of years and countless rare materials. In the battle with the Black Blood Great World, all 3 ancient rune warriors fought until they were destroyed. Most of the materials were destroyed in the battle, with only a few surviving, which remained in the secret realm as the ancient rune evolved. Among these materials were some rune treasures personally made by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. The entire ancient rune warrior could be seen as a collection of ancient runes and numerous rune treasures. The treasure ship was one of them. While navigating, Lin Moyu had already checked the information in the Secret Realm Strategy Group. The treasure ship appeared slightly damaged on the outside but was generally intact. From this, it could be judged that the main functions of the treasure ship should still be intact. As long as it wasn't too badly damaged, Lin Moyu had a way to repair it. In the inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, there were all the materials for making this treasure ship, but it was now very difficult to find the corresponding materials. Lin Moyu had therefore given up on the idea of making it himself and instead sought the legacy of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign. The treasure ship had 2 functions, storing runes and enhancing runes. You could store drawn runes in the treasure ship and take them out when needed. The runes stored in the treasure ship could also be nourished by the ship, becoming stronger. The treasure ship on the ancient rune warrior was like a warehouse. If damaged in battle, the runes in the treasure ship could automatically fly out and repair it. Moreover, the treasure ship could timely replenish the slight damage to the runes caused by battle. The ancient rune warrior, comparable in size to dozens of star systems, had 100 treasure ships inside, located in various parts of its body. Unfortunately, in the Great Battle, most of these treasure ships were destroyed. In the following years, even the fragments were taken away. Only in the treasure ship Secret Realm did one survive. Lin Moyu even wondered if there were runes personally drawn by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign in the treasure ship. But thinking about it, it was unlikely. The ancient rune warriors had all died in battle, and those runes had long been exhausted in the fight. The survival of the treasure ship itself was already a great fortune. In his vision, the mid-26999 star system appeared, rapidly enlarging in his eyes. A few seconds later, Lin Moyu had already left the star system far behind. From the scale of the starry sky in the Great World, the space occupied by a star system was actually just a small area in the starry sky. The mid-26999 star system had a diameter of only 3 billion kilometers, not very large, and Lin Moyu could cross it in less than 30 seconds. It had 1 star and 7 planets, making it a mid-sized system among the star systems. According to the human race's calculation, the area within a light-year radius centered on it belonged to its region. These areas were basically devoid of star systems. At most, there were some scattered stars. The starry sky was quite empty, with over 99% of the area being void. However, in ancient times, it was completely different. At that time, the human star domain was filled with stars and densely packed star systems. The strong of the human race concentrated countless resources together. The distance between star systems was often only a few billion kilometers. Sometimes the diameter of the star system itself exceeded the distance to other star systems. They were almost adjacent to each other, and if not for the control of formations, these star systems would have almost collided. In the battle with the Black Blood Great World, over 90% of the star systems were destroyed. Even the Great World runes were severely damaged, making it difficult for resources to regenerate. After continuous wars, many star systems were destroyed, and resources became increasingly scarce. Eventually, it became what it is now. Lin Moyu knew that unless the Great World runes could be restored, the situation would only worsen. Previously, the human race had destroyed 3 races and plundered 100 star systems, which had been filled into the human star domain. But compared to ancient times, it was still a world of difference. In his chaotic thoughts, Lin Moyu saw the treasure ship Secret Realm. With 2 steps, he appeared at the entrance of the treasure ship Secret Realm and rushed in. In the mid-level secret realms, the treasure ship Secret Realm was very famous. The treasure ship Secret Realm was relatively safe, and special materials could be obtained inside. In the treasure ship Secret Realm, there was a material called symbol gold, which was excellent for crafting symbol artifact weapons. Many symbol masters would pay high prices to purchase symbol gold. The higher the quality of the symbol gold, the more expensive it was. Being able to complete tasks to earn Divine City merit while facing low danger, and also obtaining extra materials to gain additional Divine City merit. Such a good place naturally attracted many people. Moreover, there were treasure ships in the treasure ship Secret Realm. It was said that if one could board a treasure ship, they would obtain a large number of treasures from it and ascend in 1 step. There were even legends that the treasure ships contained supreme inheritances from ancient powerful beings. Unfortunately, no one had ever obtained a treasure ship. The treasure ship Secret Realm had many advantages, but naturally also had disadvantages. When treasure ships did not appear, the realm was relatively safe, but the amount of symbol gold was also relatively small, and the quality was generally not high. Once a treasure ship appeared, the amount of symbol gold would increase, and the quality would also improve significantly. Similarly, when a treasure ship appeared, mysterious creatures would appear at the same time, and those creatures would attack people in the secret realm. If one was not careful and got targeted, it would be dangerous. But for more and better symbol gold, and for the treasure ships, many people were willing to take this risk. Overall, the treasure ship Secret Realm was a good place. At its entrance, a large number of cultivators gathered year-round, rarely fewer than 1,000, and sometimes exceeding 10,000 during peak times. Even nearby, a small trading market had already opened. Some people directly sold symbol gold here, and some symbol masters came specifically to purchase symbol gold. Lin Moyu suddenly appeared at the entrance of the secret realm, then rushed in headlong, moving so fast that people couldn't react. Some people who were about to enter the secret realm stopped in their tracks. Who went in? I don't know, he seemed to appear suddenly, then went in. That's right, that's what I saw too. That speed was really amazing. He didn't leave any traces of flying over, it felt like teleportation. Several divine venerable experts discussed among themselves, while looking surprised. Even with their eyesight, they couldn't see clearly, which only showed how fast the person was. Section 2297-2369. Inside the secret realm, Lin Moyu had just received information from the Human Emperor Network. Divine City Mission. Explore the treasure ship Secret Realm. Enter the treasure ship Secret Realm and obtain symbol gold. Restriction. Divine King rank 8 to Divine Venerable rank 5 can enter. Completion condition. Obtain 1 piece of symbol gold, no quality requirement. Mission reward. 100 Divine City merit points, no penalty for failure. Note: symbol gold may appear in any area of the secret realm. When treasure ships appear, the secret realm is relatively safe, with fewer symbol gold and lower quality. When treasure ships appear, the quantity and quality of symbol gold will increase, but beware of attacks from black beasts. Below Divine Venerable, upon encountering black beasts, please use escape talismans to leave the secret realm immediately. Divine Venerable and above can attempt to kill black beasts and enter treasure ships. If unsuccessful, please do not force it. The Human Emperor Network's reminder was very detailed. After reading it, Lin Moyu focused his attention on the secret realm. He had already read the information about the secret realm on the way. There were 12 documents about the treasure ship Secret Realm in the strategy group, which were very detailed. Lin Moyu was very familiar with every aspect of the secret realm. The black beasts that appeared along with the treasure ships, although somewhat dangerous, were known to have a maximum strength of only Divine Venerable rank 5, posing no threat to him. Currently, no one had successfully entered the second stage of the secret realm, but the information in the strategy group already indicated that there should be a second stage. Entering the second stage should be related to the treasure ships. Lin Moyu looked around, and in the next second, a large number of skeleton divine generals flew out, heading in all directions. After he entered Divine Venerable rank 2, the skeleton divine generals became stronger again. Normally, the skeleton divine generals should have changed from Divine Venerable rank 6 to rank 7. But this time they didn't. The skeleton divine generals were still Divine Venerable rank 6, just reaching the peak of Divine Venerable rank 6, only half a step away from rank 7. Lin Moyu guessed it might be due to the existence of the power of rules. Although Divine Venerable rank 6 and rank 7 only differed by 1 rank, there was a huge essential difference, as if crossing a major realm. Lin Moyu believed that as long as he reached Divine Venerable Rank 3, the Skeleton Divine Generals would naturally cross this threshold. The Skeleton Divine Generals explored the Secret Realm world on behalf of Lin Moyu, quickly feeding back a large amount of information, forming a map of the Secret Realm in his mind. The Secret Realm had grasslands and forests, with large lakes between the mountains and forests, looking like a paradise with birds singing and flowers blooming. It seems that the ancient symbol that evolved this Secret Realm is also a symbol with gentle attributes. Lin Moyu muttered to himself. After obtaining the inheritance of the holy symbol Celestial Lord, his understanding of ancient symbols far surpassed what he had before. Ancient symbols also had vastly different attributes. Some ancient symbols were born for battle, naturally violent, and the worlds they evolved were naturally very dangerous. Please vote. And some symbols belong to gentle, supportive symbols, naturally evolving much safer worlds. Lin Moyu felt the serenity of the world, appreciating the scenery while thinking about the information left by the holy symbol Celestial Lord in the inheritance. Holy symbol Celestial Lord, why do you insist that I go to these places? Is there a reason? The reason for coming here was also because of the information left by the holy symbol Celestial Lord in the inheritance. The holy symbol Celestial Lord had marked several locations, indicating that Lin Moyu should go and take a look, which might be helpful to him. Lin Moyu guessed whether the holy symbol Celestial Lord had left something behind. Those things might no longer be found in the current world. So Lin Moyu came, and his first choice was the treasure ship Secret Realm. The Skeleton Divine Generals moved very quickly, finding the boundaries of the Secret Realm in just half an hour. The treasure ship Secret Realm was not small, with a diameter exceeding 300,000 kilometers, larger than a star. Inside were countless mountains, forests, and lakes, with several large grasslands, and a desert in the center of the Secret Realm. During the exploration, the Skeleton Divine Generals found 100 pieces of symbol gold. The symbol gold was about the size of a fist, emitting a faint golden light, looking like copper or iron, but actually more like jade. The symbol gold found did not have a dense luster, obviously of low quality. In a secret realm the size of a star, having only 100 fist-sized pieces of symbol gold was indeed no different from finding a needle in a haystack. For others, it would really not be easy to find. Finding symbol gold had already completed the basic task assigned by the Human Emperor Network. For Lin Moyu, this was simply effortless. Lin Moyu put away the symbol gold, his gaze revealing contemplation. The treasure ships don't appear every time. Sometimes they can be encountered every time, sometimes they can't be encountered even after entering 1,000 times. What conditions are needed for the treasure ships to appear? Lin Moyu naturally came for the treasure ships. Symbol gold was dispensable to him. The treasure ships had not appeared, but Lin Moyu did not leave the secret realm. Based on previous information, he guessed that the appearance of treasure ships should require meeting some specific conditions. He strolled through the secret realm, advancing at a not-so-fast speed, appreciating the secret realm while pondering what the conditions might be. Gradually, he passed through grasslands, crossed mountains and forests, passed by lakes, and entered the desert in the center of the secret realm. In this paradise-like place, the existence of the desert seemed very abrupt. It should be here. Lin Moyu stood in midair, looking down at the desert from above, slowly opening his soul eyes.